Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Virjam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharya Nachiketase cha. Gita Press, page 107, mantra number 13. Your notebook, page number 22, mantra 30. Okay. Incha
Kincha
Angushtamatra Purushaha
Angushtamatra Purushaha
Jyotirivadhumakaha
Jyotirivadumakaha
Ishano Bhutabhavyasya
Ishano Bhutabhavyasya
Sa Evadya Sa Ushvaha
Sa Evadya Sa Ushvaha
Etadvaitat
Etadvaitad
Angushtamatra Purushaha
Angushtamatra Purushaha
Jyotirivadhumakaha
Jyotirivadumakaha
Ishano Bhutabhavyasya
Ishano Bhutabhavyasya
Sa Evadya Sa Ushvaha
Sa Evadya Sa Ushvaha
Etadvaitat.
Etadvaitata.
The previous mantra, number 12, and some mantras before that also. Mahavakyam. Angushtamatra Purushaha. Madhye Atmani Tishtati. Means Jivatma. Jivatma is Ishanaha Bhuta Bhavyasya. We saw that. Jiveshwara. Jiveshwara Aikyam was mentioned there. So Kincha here means what? Moreover. Means that same topic. Topic is not going to change. It's going to be Jiveshwara Aikyam only. Mahavakyam. Mahavakya Upadesha will be there. That's what he's saying here. And if you look at the mantra, it seems like a repetition of the previous mantra. But first quarter, Angushtamatra Purushaha, same as before. Third quarter also, Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. So we see these two are identical. And so Angushtamatra Purushaha. Purusha is of the size of the thumb, if you say. Well, you have to bring the previous one. Madhye Atmani Tishtati. That Angushtamatra Purushaha, which was described in the previous mantra as the Jiva, as referring to the Jiva, right? And that is Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya is there. Mahavakyam. Okay, same as before. Further description is given. It's going to be important actually. We'll see that. Jyotireva Adhumaka. Jyotihi Iva. Like the flame. Jyotihi. Like the flame. Like the flame. What kind of flame? Adhumakaha Jyotihi. Dhuma. Dhuma is, you know what it is. Dhuma means smoke. Smoke. Smoke, like a smokeless flame. Means it's just shining. a flame that always shines. It's uninhibited flame. So pure consciousness. That is what Purusha is. Further, Saha eva adya. So you see two words, adya and shwaha. Adya. So this all Sanskrit students know these words. So this is in the first two classes. Within the first five classes, we teach them all this because today and tomorrow is very important in our conversations. Before this, we started off without any wasting any time. Adya, shwaha, like that we start. And so, adya means today, shwaha means tomorrow. And so, saha eva adya. That Purusha, that Brahma, adya, it is there today. And guess what? It will be there tomorrow also. It will be there tomorrow also. Then you should not ask, what about day after tomorrow? You know why? Because if you, I'll tell you, just wait until tomorrow and then ask the question. Wait until tomorrow. I'll answer that question tomorrow. Then I'll say the same. Saeva adya sa ushvaha. Like that, it goes. All right. So, all right. So, therefore, here also you have a Mahavakya, correct? So, it's not any very complicated words are not here, like Hiranyagarbha and all that. But here, let's look at the Bhaashyam. There is one more important fact we learn as we go. Angushtamatras Purushaha
Angushtamatras Purushaha
Jyotihi iva adhumakaha.
Jyotihi iva adhumakaha
Adhumakam iti yuktam.
Adhumakam iti yuktam
Jyotishparatvat.
Jyotishparatvat.
I think in your notebook it will say Jyotihi Paratvat. I think. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Jyotish Parat. That is also fine. Jyotish Paratvat. All right. Yastvevam.
Yastvevam
Or if we split it, Yaha tu evam.
Yaha tu evam
Lakshitaha.
Lakshitaha
Yogibhihi.
Yogibihi
Hridaye.
Hridaye
Ishanaha bhutabhavyasya.
Ishanaha Bhutabhavyasya.
Yeah, we'll stop there. So, Angushta Matraha Purusha, we've seen that last class. The Purusha, which is of the size of the thumb, which is Madhye Atmani Tishtati, means Madhye, Hridayasya Madhye. There in the body there is a heart, and in the heart there is some space which is of the size of the thumb, where there is the mind, and with the mind, this Atma is sitting. Okay, that's the idea. We saw that last time. What is it? Vamsha? Parva Varti. What is that? Uh, we saw that last time. Yeah. Angushta Matra Vamsha Parva Madhyavarti Ambaravati. Like that we saw last time. So that bamboo analogy and all was given. So here also, Jyotihi. This Purusha is Jyotihi Iva. Now, something to be told about this space, Akashavat, Ambaravat, and Jyotihi. It's like a flame. Flame is introduced because that there is no other source of light in this world except a flame or sun. Something has to give a light. Otherwise, you can't just create light. And so, fire, that's why in history and all, we used to study who discovered fire. It's a very odd question because fire, how could life have existed without fire, right? So the fire is very important. And so Jyotihi Iva, right? And Now, adhumakaha, smokeless flame, because it's uninhibited flame. It's just burning. Just, what is that? Exuding, emanating, generating just light, brilliance, on which everybody depends upon, right? Now, adhumakaha. Now, dhuma means you can go to one or two shlokas. Please, one shloka I can go to. What is that?
Dhumena
Dhumena vriyate vannihi. Correct. Dhumena vriyate vannihi. Huh?
Yatholbena.
The next. That is the next line.
Yeah. Okay.
That is the
Second
next
chapter.
line. What is the next?
गर्भतेनेदमावृतम्
Dhumena vriyate vannihi. Te yatha tenedamavrutam yatholbena vritam garbha tatha tenedamavrutam. What is the context? Hey, the context is इन्द्रियस्य इन्द्रियस्यार्थे रागद्वेषौ व्यवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशमागच्छेत् तौ ह्यस्य परिपन्थिनौ. There Krishna had said, hey, don't come under the spell. Ragadvesha is going to be there. Everybody is going to have Ragadvesha. But you have the power. You have the right. You have the right to say no. You have the right to say no. And you can enjoy whatever you want, but you said this far, I not no further, right? There he said that. Then this Arjuna asked the question, hey, Krishna, what is it? Athakena prayuktoyam papam charati purushaha. Anichannapi varshneya baladiva niyojitaha. Then why? Why do people commit crimes and all that? Well, the reason was given earlier, but now, Sri Bhagavan vacha kama yesha krodha yeshaha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyenamiha vairinam. Then he says, I think, somewhere there it comes, dhumena vriyate vannihi. I remember right now it was.
Yathadarsho malena cha.
Yatholbenavruto garbha tatha tenedamavrutam. Hey, just like the smoke covers the flame, dhumenavriyate vannihi. Just like smoke covers the flame and you can't see the flame. And the best place to see it is in the homa. In the homa, sometimes what happens, they have to create the flame. It takes a little while, it takes a little skill to develop that. Then once the flame comes, it burns. Suddenly you will find there is no flame. It's all covered by smoke. Dark, gray smoke. And so he says, just like that, here the example is what? Just like that, tena idam avrutam. This sense that is there in the human being, this sense, and good sense, dharma that is there in the human being, is covered by this ragadvesha created kama, and kama just overpowers the person itself. Like that, that context is there. This is all by the way, okay? So, adhumakaha. Now, Shankaracharya is going. He's saying, adhumakam iti yuktam jyotif paratva. He says, Purishad is saying adhumakaha, but it should grammatically, if you start looking, it should be adhumakam. It's just grammar, pure Sanskrit grammar, nothing more than that. That is because he's saying Jyotihi. What is the gender of Jyotihi?
Strilinga.
Strilinga. Strilinga. Any other guesses? Now, if you start looking at dictionary and all, you will be in for a surprise because the gender of Jyotihi is Napumsakalingam.
Manasi Mari.
That means neither boys nor girls should get the name Jyotihi. It's okay. We can call ourselves Jyoti, not problem. But it is the thing here. It is Napumsakam. Therefore, Shankara is saying the right word there should be Adhumakam. It is, and then why should it be Adhumakam? Why not Adhumakaha? Yeah, not only that, Jyotif Paratvat. The main word here is Jyoti. And Jyoti decides the gender of the other adjectives coming afterwards. Obviously, we all know that. Sanskrit students know that. And so that's the reason he's giving. And so there you put here, there's a full stop here. Yeah, Jyotif Parashwad, full stop. Yaha tu evam lakshitaha yogibihi hridaye. Okay. And so this, but then the one who, Yaha, the one who looks upon evam lakshitaha, this kind of Purusha, which has been described by so many words here and also in the previous mantras, evam lakshitaha, described in this manner. The Purusha that is described in this manner, which the yogis meditate upon, correct? Meditate upon. Because that whole imagery is meant for meditation. So you meditate on the Atma. Now you also have an additional data point about Atma. And what is the data point? It's like a flame, smokeless flame. So you can imagine a smokeless flame in your heart and then meditate. Yogi bihi. Yeah. And so, evam lakshitaha yogi bihi hridaye. Yogi bihi means upasakaihi. Or yogi bihi upasakaihi, or what? Shishyaihi. Jnani bihi va. Okay. Shravanakartribihi. Those who are doing Shravanam, they are not meditating on the Atma, but they are thinking about Atma. How can Atma be inside the heart like that? And at the same time, how can it be Sarvagataha, all pervasive? They are thinking like that because that's where their mind is going. And for them, meditation, they can do meditation, but they have to go beyond meditation also. Okay. Yogi bihiva, Jnani bihiva. Okay. That we have to add. These words we have to add. We saw it a couple of mantras ago. Okay. I think in the last mantra we saw it, right? Where did we see it? Yeah, we saw it somewhere. Maybe a couple of mantras ago. Okay. And that Purusha, which is understood in this manner, which is meditated upon in this manner, in the heart, the Purusha that is there in the heart. Okay. What happened? What about that Purusha? Saha Bhuta Bhavyasya. I think we have to. Yeah. Saha Ishanaha Bhuta Bhavyasya. Saha. Yeah. That is the Lord of time itself. You look at how our people have just mastered the idea of time. Mastered the idea of time is mithya. Time is mithya. Time doesn't exist in deep sleep. What are you talking about? How can it take time to be given? No, time is not a given. Time is mithya. And so, Bhuta Bhavyasa Ishanaha. Hey, you are the Lord of time. You decide time exists or not. You say, I'm going to sleep. That means what? You are telling goodbye to time. Goodbye to time means what? I am the sustainer of time itself. The idea of time itself, I only sustain. Okay? You depend on me for time, or kala, like that we can say. And so that Purusha is Bhuta Bhavyasa Ishanaha. All right. Let's read the subsequent Bhaashyam. And I think you have, there is some notes I made here. Eva, there is a word called Eva, which comes in your notebook, I think, which is not there in Gita Press. So those who are following Gita Press, you should write Eva after Saha and before Nityaha.
That's also part of the verse, sloka, right? The
Moolam.
Moolam.
Part of the Moolam, right?
Evadya, yeah, sa evadya, sa.
Yeah, so it must be there. I wonder if that word comes. Yeah, it should be there. It should be there. All right. Saha eva
Saha eva
Nityaha Kutasthaha
nityah kutasthaha
Adya idanim pranishu vartamanaha.
Adya idanim pranishu vartamanaha.
Saha u shvaha api
Saha u shvaha api
vartishyate.
tishyate.
Okay, we'll stop with that. Saha. Saha purushaha. Saha angushtamatra purushaha, right? Which is Ishanaha Bhuta Bhavyasya cha. That Purushaha. What about that Purushaha? Nityaha. Nityaha. Shankaracharya is saying, hey, what is the meaning of Nityaha Kutastaha? See, we'll come back to Nityaha later. Okay. Adya idanim pranishu vartamana. Okay. Adya. Adya means idani. Shankaracharya is clarifying what today means. Today. Adya literal meaning is today. Idani means now. Adya means now. Just to look at it as now, at the moment, right now, as we are listening, as we are talking, as we are doing things at now. Okay. And now means what? Pranishu Vartamana. In all beings, in all living beings, here referring to living beings, Vartamana, it's there in all beings right now. It exists right now. Purusha exists right now. Okay. Sa ushvaha api vartishyate. Tomorrow also it will exist. Tomorrow also it will exist. Okay. Will continue to exist in the future. Now, this is a huge statement. It already answers Nachiketa's question. What was his question? Yeyam prete vichikishsa manushe nayamastiti chaike. Some people say this Atma doesn't exist after death. Nayamastiti chaike. That question. Astityeke nayamastiti chaike. Some people say it exists, some people say it doesn't exist. What's the answer to that question? Answer is there. Explicit answer Yama is giving here. Sa ushvaha. That is the answer to that question. Shvaha also it exists. Api vartishyate. Okay. And then Sanityaha, because it exists today and it will exist tomorrow, and that statement is true anytime, therefore that Atma is Nityaha. Nityaha. Shankaracharya could have stopped with Nityaha. He now puts another word, Kutastaha. Kutastaha. Because Shankara is saying, you may not know, but there are two types of Nityatvam. Maya is also Nityam, but Maya is not Satyam. That is Mithya Nityatvam. That is Parinami Nityatvam. Means it's changing and still Nityam. So there is some Nityam which is constantly changing. Maya is just Parinami. Maya is never before. What is Maya? If somebody asks you, what is it? That which was never the same as before is called Maya. Constant change. But Maya is Nityam. Maya never disappears. And so there is that kind of Nityatvam called Parinami Nityatvam. Parinami means what? Changing. Subject to change. This Nityatvam, this Saha is not that kind of Nityatvam. Hey, Ganga also is Nityam. Ganga Devi, we consider her goddess. She is Nityam. She's flowing. She's been flowing for ages. Okay. But it's not the same water. The water is constantly changing. Pravaha Nityatvam, also it's called. Parinami Nityatvam, Pravaha Nityatvam. These words you can remember. So, in contrast to that kind of Parinami Nityatvam, you have here Kutastha Nityatvam. This is Kutastaha Nityaha. Kutastaha. Kute Tishtati iti. Unmoving Achalaha Sarvagataha Nityam. That kind of changeless Nityatvam. Okay. So that's the significance of this word Kutastaha Nityaha. Because somebody can ask, it is today and it is tomorrow. All these rocks are also there today and tomorrow. And we've been there for a long, 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 long time. What about that Nityatvam? Yeah, good question. Okay. All right. Next, let's read the next portion. Na anyaha
Na anyaha
tat samaha
tat samaha
anyaha cha
anyaha cha
janishyate ityarthaha
janishyate ityarthaha
anena
nena
nayamasti iti
nayamasti iti
cha eke
cha eke
iti ayam pakshaha
iti ayam pakshaha
nyayataha
nyayataha
apraptaha api
अप्राप्तः अपि
स्ववचनेन
स्ववचनेन
श्रुत्या प्रत्युक्तः
श्रुत्या प्रत्युक्तः
तथा
तथा
क्षणभङ्गवादः च
क्षणभङ्गवादश्च
yeah yeah so here, what we just discussed comes here actually, right? Na anyaha tatsamaha purusha samaha saha tatsamaha. There is no other second thing similar to this purusha. Okay. Na anyaha tatsamaha. That means this purusha is ekaha. Anyaha cha janishyate. Na janishyate. You bring the na forward. Correct? And the anyaha cha na janishyate. Sometime later, some other new purusha, new version will come and take over. Like the prince takes over from the father and the mother. Like that, somebody else may come. Okay. No. Anyaha cha na janishyate. Because Atma Ajaha anyway. And so this something is going to be born and comes later means it's all part of Nitya. And so there's no question of another Purusha, right? Ityarthaha. That is the meaning of this phrase sa eva adya sa eva sa ushvaha. Okay, ityarthaha. And you should not look for saha, right? Saha means he, literally. Saha means he. He's come. He's come means you look around, right? So don't look around like that because Swami is saying you should not look around. Don't look up and down, it seems. Swami is saying. And so don't look up and down for the Saha. It's you only. It's just you. That's it. Aham asmi eva. Aham na anyaha tat samaha. Aham anyaha cha na janishyate. I will not be born again. Whereas Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita somewhere, you were born several times. I know all your births. What is that?
बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि तव चार्जुन
बहूनि मे व्यतीतानि जन्मानि च वत्सार्जुन तान्यहं वेद सर्वाणि न त्वं वेत्थ परन्तप.
You joked the 4th June.
Huh?
You joked about the 4th June.
So those who don't understand this joke, this is Swamiji Atma Triptananda, this joke. Right? What is Arjuna's date of birth? He asked me one day. I was stunned. I said, what are you asking? These kinds of things they don't teach in our ashram, Swami. Our ashram is all very pakka, pure. He said, no, Swamiji Dayananda ji taught you. You forgot the teaching. I'm very upset with you. Like that. He said. Then he quoted this mantra. Charjuna. 4th June is Arjuna's date. Yeah. Okay. So, so therefore, all right. Anena mantrena. Anena means what? By this mantra, Anena mantrena. Nayamastiti chaike. Mantra number 120, which we now know very well. 120 was Nachiketa's third question, representing that third boon that he wanted. Yayam prete vichikitsa. Iti. That question that Nachiketa asked. Okay, look at the last portion. Swavachanena shrutya pratyukta. Shrutya pratyukta. It has been responded to by the Shruti. Because Saushvaha, oh, the answer is given. No, it exists more also. Means after death, Atma will exist. Shrutya pratyukta. In this mantra, anena mantrena Shrutya pratyukta. Swavachanena. By its her own words, Upanishad is Trilingam. Upanishad, by her own words, has given the answer to Nachiketa's question. Correct? Hope you're following me. Even though Ayam pakshaha nyayataha apraptaha api. Api means even though just using logic, nyaya, you and I can figure out that Atma cannot perish. That's what he's saying. Even though Shruti does not have to say this, you can figure it out. What you can figure out by yourself by using my own buddhi. Shruti need not say. Shruti need not say fire, properties of fire, this and all. You scientists can figure it out because it's all what? This Pancha Pramana Vedyaha. It can be known by this Ahankara, Buddhi, and this sense organs. So he's saying Nyayataha Ayataha Apraptaha api. What is Apraptaha? You can't logically say that I am Atma na asti iti. Achiketa's question was what? Nayam asti iti chaiki. At least that's what he's quoting here. Atma will not exist after death. That's the statement is Nyayataha Apraptaha. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. In fact, you can prove that Atma does exist. Okay. All right. How do you prove this Nyayataha and all if you ask? Okay. See, simple. Child is born. Okay. Child is born. The child is still born. It passed away. It came out of the womb and then everybody was happy and then it passed away. Breathed its last. You can imagine the sorrow of the parents, of the sorrow of the people around. Or the child is born, it's living happily. Suddenly, after 2 years, leukemia. 3 years passed away. Parents will ask the question. What will they ask? Why my child? What did it do to anybody? Did it do anything? They will ask. Not acceptable. If nobody can accept, no parent can just sit and say, yeah. So, how do you explain this phenomenon? This phenomenon can be explained. There is only one way to explain it. You can't even say God did it. You know why? Parents can't accept this. Who is this God you're talking about? Ask him to come here. I want to talk to him. We don't need this God who is deciding, just going around randomly distributing this. Oh, you will live long and you will die within so many years. You will suffer all. You live long, but you'll suffer all life. Who is this God? I want to talk to him. God will be a sadist. I don't want a sadist God. Forget this God business. That's what we will say. No human mind can accept that. All right. Or just accident. Okay, don't bring God into the picture. Accident. It was just an accident. We're all accidents. That also is not, it won't fly. Don't fly for too long because human being is a thinking person. And so it won't fly. And so this thing is called, therefore something must have been there before the birth of the child, before the birth of all of us, which has resulted in this birth. That something is what is, must be there. We may not know what words it is. Shastram tells us what it is. But that something has to be there. That continuity has to be there. Otherwise, this reason is lost completely. It becomes totally unreasonable. Life becomes unreasonable. Why am I born? Question will come. And so, therefore, this akrita abhyagama dosha, technical word for it is what? experiencing something that I'm paying for something that for you're asking me to pay for something that I did not do. But he comes and says, you are under arrest. What? What do you mean you're under arrest? And you resist. You say, wait a minute, you tell me what are you talking about? So they have to tell me something. That is why in a very corrupt society, it's difficult to live. That a dharmic person will just struggle and struggle and struggle, and therefore people also resort to corruption. Because that's the best way to live some comfortable life. We are forced to be corrupt. You're forced to lie, forced to bribe. Okay. And so this is called what? Akrita abhyagama doshaha. A flaw, a defect. The defect is what? Making me experience what I don't deserve to experience. Correct? Same thing. Take it towards the end. The guy, suppose continued. The guy does all kind of akrama, just papa karma she does, and then gets away with murder. Somebody has sent me a text message 2-3 days ago. It's a Vedanta student only for a long time. But somewhere he didn't follow certain things properly. He missed out some very important things. And he's thinking karmana moksha. And he says, after I exhaust all the karma and my punya papa account goes down to zero, moksha. He asked me, he sent me a spreadsheet. You please check the spreadsheet. And he wrote a lot of things about this, that, etc. But on top, this is the sentence I saw. I said, where do you get this sentence from? Karmana na moksha, jnane na moksha. Where is the pramanam for this? And so we had some discussion. But then this guy does all kinds of karma and he enjoys life. He was saying, he wanted explanations for these things. His students are asking him this question. It's guy who's corrupt but enjoying life. And here is another person who is following dharma, a very dharmic, truthful person, but struggling constantly. How do you explain this? So only karma can explain us. This guy suffers. I told him, look, yes, we can't handle it. But we can't handle it because we think this is the only life that is there. This is the only life we know. We don't know any other life. And my life is only this much. Everybody's life is only this much. So I compare between this and this, and I get frustrated looking at all these things. They're very frustrating. And somebody's enjoying. He's going around just committing murders and this and that. He has henchmen all over, and then we have to live in fear. So the only way to rationalize this is you have to extend the timeline. Then only this akrita abhyagama dosha won't be there. What is other dosha? Krita hana dosha. Hey, the crime that was done, I have to pay for it. Otherwise, that is hana. Krita hana dosha will be there. Akrita abhyagama dosha, krita hana dosha. These two will be there. And this is called nyaya. Nyayataha apraptaha api. Hey, this nayam asti chaike, you can dismiss it just by using plain logic. Plain logic. Explain to me some more about this papa, punya and all. If you say we have to rely on Shastra, then you have to go to Shastra. Because punya papa is invisible, adrishtam. Therefore, this only Shastram has to talk about punya papa. So that's what he's referring to by these words. Nyayataha apraptaha api. Means what? By logically, you can't prove that Atma does not exist, will not exist after death. Okay, that's the meaning of that statement. Swavachanena shrutya pratyukta. Shrutya pratyukta. That statement stands refuted. What statement stands refuted? Nayamasti Chaikya statement stands refuted by the Shruti herself by the words Sa Ushwaha. Okay. All right. And, there is another beautiful statement. I love this statement. Just listen to it first. we can avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham nabhuktam kshiyate karma kalpakoti shatairapi. Listen to this. Okay? Avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma. Any karma that is done by us, somebody has to experience or I have to experience. The full force of the karma through karma phalam has to happen. Avashyam anubhoktavyam. Of what? Kritam karma. Of the done actions. And what kind of actions? Shubham, ashubham. Kritam karma, shubha, shubham. All types of actions. Shubha, very auspicious actions as well as inauspicious. Or sometimes Shubha is referring to Punyam, Ashubham referring to Papam. Papa, karma phalam. Okay, karma phalam has to be experienced. Nabhuktam kshiyate karma. This abhuktam karma means unexperienced karma phalam. Karma means karma phalam. Abhuktam means not yet experienced. Kshiyate. Nabhuktam. So abhuktam karma na kshiyate. It will not disappear. Just wait for some time, I'll escape. This guy committed a murder. And it's been 30 years, nobody caught him. And this guy is living right next to the police station and he's friends of the police station. Friends means even the police don't know that he committed. That kind of guy I'm talking about. Not these guys are hand in glove. No. This guy has done a murder and he's living right next to the police station. No, these guys they haven't figured it out. They can't figure it out also. And so if you think like that, he says, Nabhuktam karma na kshiyate. And then what? Kalpa koti shatairapi. Maybe I'll wait a little longer and all people will forget all this karma. No forgetting is there. You can wait. Kalpa. Okay, what is a kalpa? What is a kalpa?
Brahma's lifetime.
Chaturyuga.
1,000 Mahayugas. 1,000 Mahayugas.
Correct. One kalpa is Brahmaji is one full day. One full day. And one full day is how long?
2,000 into Mahayugas.
2,000 Chaturyugas, not 2 Chaturyugas, 2,000 Chaturyugas. And one Chaturyuga is how many human years?
4.32 billion years.
4.32 million years. So 4.32 million years times 2,000 is one kalpa. And then this guy says, kalpa koti shatairapi. So koti kalpas is 1 crore kalpas. And then add another 100 shatairapi. 100 crore. 100 crore is 1 billion. 1 billion kalpas, you are welcome. You can wait. But still your karma phala is waiting. That's what it says. Beautiful shloka. I like it. And so, therefore, this is Shastra. We can't figure this out just like that. But generally, you can at least reason out. No, this has to. That's why Shastram is very important. Without Veda, even other Bible and all won't work. You see a lot of articles. Bible also cannot explain all these experiences that we undergo. Child dying, very early and all. Bible can't explain. They have some faith in God and say, God will do good for me. That's how. That is okay. Nothing wrong with that. But here...
Bible is Purushayam. It's not Apaurushayam.
See, you and I will say that, but they won't accept it. They won't accept it. Okay? So anyway, that's the idea here. And Tatha, okay. When somebody says like this, that karma is there, it's a continuum like that. Already now, another thing is refuted. This Charvaka Mata is refuted. Charvaka, what does he say? Hey, look, Yavat Jivet, Sukham Jivet. Just live happily as long as you're alive. Why are you just pondering about all these vague questions, karma and Mukti and Jivan Mukti and Sanskrit and in between, and then all this Vyutpatti? You guys are wasting your time. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. Kritam kritva, rinam kritva kritam pibet. Just enjoy. Just borrow and enjoy. Okay. And then Basmi bhutasya dehasya punaragamanam kutaha. Hey, you're all going to die in the pyre, in the wooden pyre. That's what they used to say. My aunt used to scold us. Kattail poravan. Kattail poravan. Poravan means you're going to go on a piece of wood. You're going to go on a piece of wood, and you're acting so smart. You're acting as though you know everything. I'm sure it is there in Malayalam. Some equivalent must be there. Must be there, I think, in other languages also. Okay. They will say Kattala Poravan, and then we all know, but really Katta means wood. Kattail Poravane.
പാടയിൽ പോകുന്നവനെ
Huh?
പാടയിൽ പോകുന്നവനെ
Yeah, Amma, it has to be there. It has to. So the Charvaka Mata Kandhanam has happened. Charvaka says like this, by saying Sa Ushvaha, or then that Charvaka's view is refuted. And he also says, Tatha Kshana Bhanga Vadascha. Hey, there is a guy called Kshanika Vijnani. There is a guy in Buddhism, there is a Yogachara people, they talk about Kshanika Vijnanam. They're also called Kshanika Vijnanis. They say consciousness is flickering. There is a view that Aham Atma Shunyaha also, but the Aham flickering consciousness, Aham Kshanikam iti Tesham Vadaha. And that also stands refuted. Why? Because here he's talking about Nitya Atma, unflickering, unchanging Atma. To say Atma is flickering, there must be a non-flickering Atma. Correct? Suppose you say that lighthouse, that light is flickering. I can't be a flicker. If I am a flicker, I can't identify a flicker. I have to be constant in order to actually say something is flickering, something is changing, something is not changing, color is changing. To objectify change, the objectifier must be unchanged. Correct? Therefore, he is saying, Kshana Bhanga Vadaha. Like that, Shankara is in a mood to comment here. Okay? So, we will conclude this mantra with that. And what is the summary of this mantra? Summary is that same Hridayastha Pundarika, that lotus also elsewhere Pundarika was mentioned. That Purusha is in the Atma. This Jiva is that Jiva. Finally, it is a Jiva. Size of a thumb and all, okay, that's because of the physical space. The Jiva is equal to Paramatma Ishana. This is the main message here. And that thumb size in the heart and all, it helps us remind ourselves. Because our buddhi is Dvaita buddhi. Ishvara is Paroksha buddhi. Paroksha Ishvara buddhi. To negate the Paroksha Ishvara buddhi, all these words are used. Angushtamatra, Purushaha, etc. So that I will remind myself of this heart. Hey, I am here, Ishvara is here. That is why children at a young age in India, you ask them, where is God? They will show it to their heart. They'll point to themselves. Unless they got conditioned in some kind of a convent school or something. Okay. So that Atma, Jivatma is Brahma, Ishvara, which is Nityam, Sa Ushvaha, which is Nityam. That is the message here. All right. Let's look at the Anvaya. Angushta Matraha Purushaha. You are welcome to bring Madhya Atmani Tishtati from the previous mantra. Adhu Makaha Jyotihi Iva. or Jyotihi iva adhumakaha bhavati. Now this is better. Adhumakaha Jyotihi iva bhavati. Because smokeless flame, that's what. So what is it? Angushta matraha purushaha adhumakaha Jyotihi iva, within brackets, bhavati. Next. Saha purushaha, in brackets, saha purushaha bhuta bhavyasya ishanaha bhavati. Bhavati supplied. Saha eva adya pranishu vartamanaha bhavati. I've written down. Pranishu vartamanaha bhavati. Saha eva adya pranishu vartamanaha. That is just for our understanding. Next sentence. Saha u shvaha. Saha u shvaha bhavishyati. Bhavishyati supplied. Etad vaitat. So the Anvaya will read like this. Angushta matraha purushaha adhumakaha jyotihi iva bhavati. Full stop. Saha purushaha bhuta bhavyasya. Saha purushaha, you can even say Atma. Okay? Just to make sure that distinction that Atma is there, Paramatma. Two things are talked. Saha purushaha Atma bhuta bhavyasya ishanaha bhati. Full stop. Saha eva adya pranishu vartamanaha bhavati. Full stop. Saha u shvaha bhavishyati. Full stop. Etad vaitat. All right. Let's start the next mantra, number 14. Punaha api Bheda darshana apavadam Brahmanaha aha Yathodakam durge vrishtam Parvateshu vidhavati Evam dharman prathak pashyan. So that's the way it should be split. Pashyan and tan eva comes like that. Evam dharman prathak pashyan. Tanevanu vidhavati. Yathodakam durge vrishtam. Parvateshu vidhavati. Evam dharman prathak pashyan. Tanevanu vidhavati. Punaha api. Once again. Veda darshana apavadam brahmanaha ah. Trying to see Dvaita in Advaita. Brahman is sarvam kalu idam Brahma. But then I see differences and differences and differences. If this is my life, if all I see is differences and don't make an effort to see the Abheda Darshanam, see the Akhandatvam, see the Ekatvam of Brahma, then my life is going to be ruined. And that Veda Darshana Apavadam Shastram is refuting Brahma, Nirgunam Brahmans, Veda Darshana. This idea of seeing duality in Brahma is being refuted once again by the next mantra. Already earlier it was said. We can page back. I can see it in number 11. Manasa eva idamaptavyam neha nanasti kinchana. Nanasti. In reality, there is no meaning. Duality is not there. Nanasti kinchana. And what are the consequences of one who Nana iva pashyati was said in the second line of that mantra number 11. Mrityoho samrityam apnoti. Even before that, yadeveha tadamutra, yadamutra tadanviha. Whatever is there is here, whatever is here is there. Brahma is all that is there. We saw that. Mrityoho samrityam apnoti, yah iha nana iva pashyati. We saw that. That's why punaha api. Once again, it's not a new topic. Once again, Shastram is going to tell us that. So it's not that a Jivan Muktaha, Jnani, is going to suddenly not see any differences. But the person will understand differences as Mithya. Mithya. Big difference between Mithya and Satyam. Previously, I thought everything was Satyam. Now I understand that there is something called Mithya and the whole Jagat is Mithya. And Aham Satyam. All right. So here a nice example is given. Udakam, all you must have recognized some words. Yatha Udakam, water. Udakam is water. And so he's talking, he's giving an imagery. Another imagery is being given. So it's a big mountain. Yatha Udakam Durge, Durgaha, Parvate. Big mountain, Durga. Dukkena Gachati iti Durgaha. Impossible to move. Very difficult. That which is difficult to move is called a mountain. Can be a mountain. Other things also can be difficult to move, but a mountain also is called Durga. Okay, so mountain. So just like when rain falls on a tall mountain, tall is not there, but imagine a tall mountain. Okay, rain falls, vrishtam, yatha. Okay, udakam, vrishtam. When water falls on the mountain, then what? Parvateshu vidhavat. Then what happens? Then now imagine all smaller hillocks, mountains next to that big mountain. Okay, imagine like that. There's never one mountain just sitting by itself, isolated, So imagine Parvateshu. That Parvateshu is what? All the sub-mountains, the mini mountains. They're also small mountains. But then what happens? When the water falls from the big mountain like that, all the smaller hillocks, which are in the lower level, they divide that water, that stream. They keep on dividing. That one stream of water keeps on dividing. Okay. Until nothing is left. No water is available. No water is available at the bottom. Okay. That's the example given. Which means what? If I keep dividing things, then nothing will be left. That's a peculiar example, right? So, evam, in that manner, evam, in that manner, dharman pritak pashyan. Dharman. Dharman means jivatmanaha. All the jivas are different. You are different, I am different. In fact, you have your own karma, I have my own karma. Like this, life goes on. Okay. Don't take it literally. Yes, that's how it works. But then that is not the absolute reality. So, Prithak question, if I keep seeing everything as different and let go with that, then what? Tan eva anuvidhavati. This guy will run after those same jivas. Means what? What do you mean by running after all the same jiva? Means he will be born again in the midst of those same jivas. In the midst of that same duality, he will be born. That's the idea. That's the imagery given in this mantra. Okay. So again, Dvaita Darshana Ninda is there. Ninda means what? The critique. A critique of that Dvaita Darshanam is there. And then the consequences of that are given. And why should you do this? See, there are certain elements of every text. Every text. There is no Mahavakyam here. Mahavakyam is the Satyam. That is the truth. There is no Mahavakyam. Here it says, hey, if you insist on seeing duality, then you will be constantly born in a dual world. That's all he's saying. Okay, that's an important thing to know, no doubt. But here there is a Ninda. Ninda Stuti is there. Ninda of duality and Stuti of non-duality. So Ninda Stuti is an essential part of any text. There are several essential parts of a text. Okay. What are the essential parts? Upakramopasamharo, Abhyaso Purvata Phalam, Arthavadopapatti cha, Lingam Tatparya Nishchaye. So we have had mantras for all these things. We will never forget. So Upakrama, Upasamhara. Upakrama means opening statement, introduction, abstract. Upasamhara, conclusion. At the end of the thing, you have to say conclusion. So every article should have that. Every book will have that. And every text also, every chapter should have something like this chapter is going to talk about this. And then go into the details and then finally come back to the conclusion. So, Upakrama, Upasamharo, Abhyaso Purvata Phalam, Abhyasaha, repetition. Repetition will be there. Same concept has to be repeated several times. Maybe different examples have to be given. In all our textbooks, we see Abhyasa will always there. And then they give homework also. And homework is all Abhyasa, constant Abhyasa. All right, Abhyasa. Apurvata. Get this. Apurvata means you can't tell things that I already know. Why should I study something that I already know? Something different has to be said. Upanishad has to say something different than all the scientists put together combined. Entire corpus of knowledge you bring in a thumb drive. Okay, so many terabytes of data. The entire science that over eons, whatever human beings have invented. Here it is. Shastram has to tell something other than that what is there in that terabyte. Correct. That is why then only Shastram is meaningful. Otherwise, I can figure it out myself. If not now, tomorrow I'll figure it out. So Apurvata is critical as far as Shastram is concerned. All right, Apurvata Phalam. What is the benefit of this knowledge? Why should I study it? See, generally in schools, they miss out on some of these things. A good teacher will always include some elements, right? Why should I study this physics? Mechanics padke kya fayda hai? Electromagnetism. What is this electromagnetism? Is it you're irrelevant? No, you have to prove to me it is relevant. Only then I really get it. Until then, it's all just theory, information, just for the sake of writing exams. Then I become an exam-focused guy, not understanding nothing. Why should you know all this? Clouds. Why should I understand different types of clouds? They used to teach us about cumulus clouds and nimbus clouds and this and that. It's all some theory. What do you gain out of knowing all this? Hey, some connection has to be there. And the teacher, creative, there's a lot of creativity involved here. Okay. And so, Abhyasaha Apurvata Phalam Arthavadaha Upapatti cha. Arthavadaha means praise. Praise, Ninda and Stuti is called Arthavadaha. It's really not relevant to the what is going to be proved or what is going to be talked about. But why it's important. The greatness of this thing, greatness of this knowledge. That is all. Just praising. It's called just praise. Praise is called Arthavada. Praise is not directly related to the subject, but it's just a, what do you call it? You call it praise, that's all. I don't know what else to say. All right. Arthavadaha. Upapatti, logic, reason, very critical. Please use reason all the time. So therefore, here, Ninda, Ninda, Ninda of Dvaita Darshan. Ninda is what? Arthavadaha. So you've seen Arthavadaha before. You're seeing Abhyasa. Repetition is there. Gushta Matra Purusha again comes again and again. Okay. And then Yaha Nana Iva Pashyati. Saha Mrityum Gacchati. That is also a repetition. Okay. So Abhyasa is there. So all these elements will be there. Upakramaha. Upakramaha. That introduction, opening statement. So if the Upanishad doesn't have it, Shankaracharya will provide it. Doesn't have it means not obvious to us. Then, see, generally we don't need to apply it to Upanishad. Upanishad is a little different because it is Apaurishayam. Apaurishayam, here it can all be jumbled up. But in a Paurishaya Grantha, all these elements must be there. And Upanishad must have Apurvata also that we saw. All right. Okay, this the gist we have talked about. Let's read the Bhaashyam. Did I cover the Shadlingam before? It's called Shadlingam, by the way. Upakramaopasamharo. Did I ever talk about it before? No. I see. So in that case, you should note this down. Upakramopasamharo. Write this down. Somewhere I thought I talked about it. Okay. Upakramopasamharo. Abhyaso purvata phalam. Abhyaso purvata. And there is a that is hidden between abhyaso and purvata. Abhyaso apurvata. Abhyasaha apurvata. Abhyaso purvata phalam. Phalam. Okay. Abhyaso purvata phalam. Arthavadopapatti cha. One word. Arthavadopapatti. Arthavadopapatti. Dirgha E. Arthavadopapatti cha. Lingam tatparya nirnaye. Lingam tatparya nirnaye. Lingam. These are all called lingas. These are all essential elements of any text. Lingam, which we normally refer to in our conversations as Shadlingam, because there are 6 things in here. Shadlingam. Okay. And what for is it? Tatparya nirnaye. To establish what is the text talking about. What exactly is the text talking about? Okay. These elements will be used. And the people who are studying it will be looking for these elements. Right? Anything you read also. You read an article in the newspaper. A title is there. Some Europe, Canada, India issue is there. Okay, within that there is some issue. You have to kind of understand. Sometimes they talk about many topics. At the end of it, what did you get out of it? If I ask, we can't keep blabbering. We have to be able to say, okay, this essence is like this. So lingam tatparya nirnaye, like that we talk about. Okay.
You had spoken about Anubandha Chatushtaya, Vishaya, Adhikari, Prayojanam and Sambandha.
Okay. Correct. Okay. Anubandha Chatushtayam I spoke about. All right. So we have a few minutes left. Let's read the Bhaashyam. In class, in school and all, college and all, we used to look at our clock when the teacher was teaching, professor was teaching. 3 minutes left. Oh, I think he will let us off now. And the professor won't leave us. Can you believe it? I said, wait a minute. It's the end of the class. No, it's not the end of the class. Did you ever get that experience in school also? My God, some teachers will never let go. They will not go at last minute and then take a couple of minutes extra also. I'm reminded of that. Maybe you're also thinking like this. This guy he doesn't let go. 3 minutes extra.
And when teacher doesn't come, all the students shout and enjoy.
Oh,
Other
that's a
day.
day. That's just the joy. That is the greatest part of the whole day. Is when the teacher doesn't come 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, the monitor is sitting in the front of the board because monitor is needed, they have to write names and all that. And there's a riot after that. Anyway.
This thing is when the teacher eats away the lunchtime.
Yeah, that's not fair. That's not fair. All right, let's at least we did a sankalpa, so at least we'll read something. Yatha udakam.
Yadha udakam.
Durge durgame.
Durge durgame.
Deshe uchrite.
Dese uchrite.
Vrishtam siktam.
Vrishtam siktam.
Parvateshu.
Parvateshu.
Those in the notebooks, the next word should be Parvata Vatsu. It says Parva Vatsu. It should say Parvata Vatsu. The ta has to be added in the middle.
Gita Press is okay.
Yeah, Gita Press is fine. Parvata Vatsu.
Parvata Vatsu.
Nimna Pradesheshu.
Nimna Pradesheshu.
Vidhavati.
Vidhavati.
Vikirnam Sat.
Vikirnam Sat.
Vinashyati.
Vinasyati.
Evam Dharman.
Evam Dharman.
Atmanah Bhinnan.
Atmanah Binnan.
Prithak Pashyan.
Prudhak Pasyan.
Prithak Eva.
Prudhak Eva.
Pratishariram Pashyan.
Pratisariram Pasyan.
Tan Eva.
Tan Eva.
Sharira Bheda.
Sharira Vedha.
Anuvartinaha.
Anuvartinaha.
Anuvidhavati.
Anuvidhavati.
Sharira Bhedameva.
Sharira Vedhameva.
Prithak.
Prudhak.
Punah punah pratipadyate ityarthaha.
Punah punah pratipadyate ityarthaha.
Yeah.
Jaykumarji, Atmanaha Abhinnan, right? Not Atmanaha Bhinnan. There is the
1 second.
Evam
Yeah.
Dharma.
Yeah, so this must be
Atmano Bhinna.
Yeah, but it's when we split it, it should be Atmanaha Abhinnan, right?
no, see in your, what does it say in your notebook?
Atmano and then the epsilon Bhinnan.
Avagrachana is there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it must be Bhinna. Abhinnan is wrong.
Okay, so it has been corrected.
Yeah. That
Gita Press is correct.
Gita Press is correct. Bhinnan Pashit. So Abhinnan means it becomes
I thought Abhinnan Atman, I thought it was qualifying the Atma.
Bhinnan only it must be. So Advaita Sharada says Abhinnan. Your notebook also says Abhinnan? Yeah, okay. It must be Bhinnan. We'll cover it next class. All right. Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। ॐ आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।